All right. Well, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, Mr. Wren. How are you doing this fine evening?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, man. It's a beautiful day in the city, and I'm ready to talk about some trading card games.
That's right. So, what's exciting about here for those of you, I already see a couple people coming in. We got,
Oh, wow.
was it Changito and Grumpy Charizard? How you guys doing?
What's going
Um,
on, fellas?
what is truly exciting about this is the first live stream in my TCG Roundtable Talk series.
Ooh.
And we have, of course, the special guest, the wild Norseman himself, making an appearance here.
Thank you guys for having me, man. It's incredibly an honor. My first time streaming, and I'm glad it's you, dude.
Yeah. Hey, dude, same thing. I'm happy. We've been talking about getting you on and kind of talking to you and talking Mythik and all that for
Of
quite a
course.
while. So I'm glad we're finally able to do it and able to do it in the setting and
Hmm.
talk some other TCGs as well.
Right, man. So many good trading card games to talk about. I mean, where could we even start? You know what I mean?
Well, I know there's a lot of hot topics floating around with Metazoo.
Oh.
Probably start there and poke around a little bit.
Let me clean the steam off the glasses real quick, because that's
It's
a
getting
hot
hot.
topic, my friend. It's already getting hot up in here 2 minutes into the stream. Okay.
Seriously though,
Oh man.
dude, Metazoo.
I
I don't know how to feel about Metazoo if I'm being honest. Like, for anybody who's watching who doesn't know, I used to be into Metazoo. When it first came out, I wasn't really so much into it, and it kind of grew on me a little bit.
mhm.
But we eventually got into it, started playing the game, and I thought, it plays just like Magic, a little bit more
Right.
complicated, but you know what? We're gonna give it a try. We're gonna start getting into it, and things were going good. It was definitely like an investment type of game, though. You
Oh,
could tell
mhm.
that the gameplay itself wasn't the main focus.
Oh yeah, from
But
the jump.
yeah, and I think with Mike and his team, they definitely saw that there was potential money to be made, and I think that was always their mindset, which was
Hmm.
kind of part of the problem. What's up, Oak and Shield? How's it going, buddy?
Oh man, Oakenshield's here, man. It's a party now.
We got all the fandoms present now.
I'm not seeing like who's coming in and everything else, because all I have up right now is the Streamlabs and the Discord. But I'm actually gonna
So
do
actually, if
this.
on
Yeah.
the Streamlabs page, if you look to the far right, there should be a chat option,
Oh,
and there
there it
should
is.
be a stream. So if you hit
Oh,
the
there it
stream,
is.
you should be able to see that. Yeah, it's nice. I
Oh
discovered
my.
this very recently. I'm not gonna lie. So
Technology.
what's up,
Technology.
Cardboard Addicts Podcast? That's right. If you guys are not subscribed to them, watching their stuff, you're missing out. Great topics. And tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., they Eastern time, I should say, they will be dropping another great podcast. Definitely tune in for that.
Oh man, I'm gonna be listening to it at work.
That's right. That's what I do too. I always work a little bit later, so I pop the earbuds in, walk around, and
Mhm.
just listen to the podcast.
Oh, that's the way to do it, man. Continuing on with the MetaZoo, I would say at this point it's definitely a stab in the heart to people who have put a lot of thought and love into the game. The artists that were involved who got completely throttled out of the game before they even closed down. I remember that was a huge, very big contentious topic at one point. And
Yes.
I personally, I got out of the MetaZoo scene relatively early. I think I got out when UFO dropped. I bought a lot of UFO. I enjoyed the set. I enjoyed Aliens and stuff like that. My whole gripe was just that they kind of prided themselves on being this card game where, it was a collectible and also a game. But as you say, they have seemed to have prioritized the collectible aspect of it, and definitely burned a lot of their longtime people like you. And I don't know if any of you guys know Nick's Strength in Pokemon. He was one of their
Yep.
big guys, and he's completely burned tons of Karomi Carnival and can't get rid of it. And uh,
Yeah.
it's a bad situation,
That's
man.
bad
It's
too.
bad.
Well, and then you have actual sellers like so on the Cardboard X podcast when we were there, we had Argos Anonymous actually on and talked about it, and that was when we first started really ramping up and getting into it and all that. And I feel bad for guys like that,
Hmm.
all of these smaller shops, the online shops,
Yes.
because now they're stuck with all this product of a dead card game that's I mean, going to eBay and looking at prices, boxes are selling for like $10 now.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge detriment. I did
Dollar
see
box.
that the Kickstarter boxes were also going for like I remember one point they were like $1,100 and now they're less than 400. I saw it's some points. I don't know if that's across the board,
Yeah.
but I've seen a definite decline ever since that little paragraph long thing saying like, hey, thanks for your money, thanks for 4 years of your time, see you later.
Yeah. Later, nerds, we're out.
Yeah, later,
I mean,
nerds.
that's honestly
Give me your
what
lunch
it did.
money.
Exactly. Dude, they pulled the rug so hard out from under people.
They pulled the rug so fast that the dishes and did not have time to fall down and break.
Right, exactly. It was bad. You know, the other thing that you were talking about Nick's strength in Pokemon. I was actually watching
Mhm.
his live stream last night. Popped in
Oh,
to say hey. He actually subscribed to my channel, which was really cool. So we kind of had a little chat back and forth, which was
that's
awesome.
awesome, dude.
Um, but he was even talking about how Metazoo, well, he thought that Metazoo might be putting some news out and that there was something out there that said within the next couple days they would be putting some news out and talking about it. But,
Mhm.
those couple days came and went and nobody's heard a word about anything, especially with all those rumors swirling around. And then that leaked Discord chat about with Mike and I forgot who it was that actually initiated it, but they were,
Mhm.
essentially going, "Hey, the game's not done. We're looking for buyers, blah blah blah." But I'm just sitting here thinking, like, why wouldn't you as a company want to come out and just say, "Hey, like the game isn't actually dead. This letter that Mike put out was far more ambiguous than it needed to be.
Mhm.
Like, we're still alive. We're just looking for potential buyers to help kickstart the game again or something." Like, I feel
Right.
like as a card game, you would want your clients, you want your investors and collectors and players to all know what's going on at
Mhm.
every given moment, so that like you would have some kind of transparency, be like, hey, don't freak out so much. Like,
Dude, it's 100%. It's not only poor management, it is poor it's poor management, it's poor player base interaction even. I know that you've been banned from their Discord. I know that I've been banned from their Discord. No personal gripes from me. I get banned from Discords like it's nobody's business, so I don't care. But
it's going
you
for that
know,
PR.
right at this point, I'm going for a personal best, and you know, when it definitely is a bell tolling hardcore when you speak to the owner of a card game and they don't want to talk about the bad stuff that's going on and they don't want to admit that they're doing stuff wrong and they don't want to admit that they're costing people a lot of money while lining their own pockets,
Right.
and then they just block you out of nowhere. Again, I believe that ship sailed, in my opinion, when the second edition of Cryptid Nation dropped. When that dropped, everything was overprinted, overblown. Everyone was jumping on the bandwagon. It was a huge, and I hate to say this because I love like a lot of indie card games out there are so much better than what Metazoo has portrayed indie card games to be. But they again, like you said, they just pulled the rug from everybody and made it so blatant, and it hurts. It does hurt me, especially because I'm a very large fan of, you know, any of these little indie card games who even take the time to get a Kickstarter going, print the cards, send the cards out, make a business model, actually take the time to do something with themselves. And Metazoo just rode the hype train.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the money.
Yes, sir.
And a TCG we're gonna be talking about a little bit later, Mythic TCG. You know, games like that, the creator Max, he's in the community. He's
Mhm.
involved. Like he doesn't put himself like he's God way up here. Honestly, Max is probably the most humble and down to earth creator out there, right next to Zaba, in my opinion.
Right.
These dudes don't think that they're any better than the rest of us. They want to
Mhm.
engage with us. They want to have fun with us. Like that's how it's supposed to be. And Mike with Metazoo, man, he thought he was God. He thought he was
Oh
better than
yeah.
everybody else out there. You know, it was bad from the start. And the whole Discord thing, like that blew out of proportion bad.
Oh, for sure.
What's up, Gonzo? I see you popping up in here. Um,
Gonzo.
oh yeah, they love the mysterious drama. That's right. And yeah, so many people got burned. Grumpy, you were absolutely correct. Um, but with Mike, it was just like anytime he felt threatened, he just booted people. And
Mhm.
like you got booted, plenty of other people got booted. That dude that sent the Frogman, the Loveland Frogman statue in to
Oh
get
my
signed or
goodness.
whatever, and then
I
he was
forgot all about that.
yeah, that whole debacle made fun of that guy, drug him publicly through the mud,
Mhm. Oh
and
yeah.
almost didn't send his stuff back, and it took a while, and then booted him once he got his statue back, and then
Mm.
there's like me and the other cardboard addicts present. We all got booted. Funny story, but Grumpy actually was the first one to get booted, and he got booted for liking a post from a kind of like a Metazoo spoof account,
Oh wow.
but you would
Okay.
never even know. It was like spray paint artwork of Mothman. So it had nothing negative to Metazoo or Mothman. It was just like it was just a painting of Mothman. He liked it,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
Mike
that
and his
gives me a
dudes,
migraine that even happened.
right. But dude, it gets wilder, okay? It's just
Oh
it
my
gets
goodness.
wilder. So he got banned first and he told us about it. So we're like, well, we all need to start checking. My buddy Zen got banned. I think it was for the same reason. I think he liked the same post. Then I got banned because I was associated with them. Like they were my buddies. I never liked the post. I was in good standing with Mike and the team and the whole TCG. Like I was actively doing videos and stuff for them. I was building
Right.
a community here where I live, trying to get people to play the game. Like I was doing all the stuff that he should be doing. And then out of the blue, I got blocked and
Right.
banned from the Discord. And they never even told me why. Come to find out later on from somebody else on the inside that, hey, you were associated with these guys over here that got banned for liking a post. So that's why they booted you too. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's
Like that is the
wild.
most childish reason.
It's
Somebody's everywhere.
it's a kangaroo court of cardboard loving nerds. I don't understand. And I'm a cardboard loving nerd, and that's coming from me. It's ridiculous. That is so crazy. The day before we got banned, I posted a video on YouTube opening their kids. That is ridiculous.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that at that point again, they're alienating their target fan base, which is their fans. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But you know what really kills me about them is they treated everybody this way. I
uh-huh.
mean, they
Yep.
treated everybody. I don't know how some of those guys, like, there's some really awesome people in that community that supported them, stuck with them through the whole time, that
Oh yeah.
somehow didn't ever get banned. It's just like, man, I don't know how you guys survived. We're
Right. Like
playing Squid Games out here, and we're all getting knocked off left and right.
dude,
Somehow they survive. But kudos to them.
it's exactly how it felt like, and as you were saying earlier, it's with other TCGs, when you speak to their creators like Legions of Will, Mythik, Nostalgics, the people who are, I mean, you would consider those guys a little less popular than Mythik, or not Mythik, but Metazoo.
Right.
And when it comes to Metazoo, like they act like they acted, before all of this crap. They acted like they were the end all be all of indie trading card games, and no one could beat them, no one could be above them, no one could, no one could bring them down. Right.
That's it.
And lo and behold, first quarter of 2024, the last nail in the coffin, and there's rumors that they're going to be selling to Bandai. I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
Yep.
And all I can say is if they do sell to Bandai, I mean, that's the last nail in the coffin. Bandai is going to ruin that game. It's over. It's over, baby. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I might even argue that it's already over. Like, there's
yeah,
no more coffins need to be in the nail. They're done.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I like to be optimistic, but it's very hard to be optimistic when it comes to them, you know, and I don't even know why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. You know, again, like we were saying, there's so many other card games that are more worthy of people's attention.
Yeah. I just feel bad. Like I said before, I feel bad for those who invested. Not the one, I don't know. Bear with me here. It's not necessarily the ones that invested heavily into them. I think some of them might deserve what, you know, the dumping that they need to do now. But there's a lot of people that they just love the game so much that they wanted to buy more of it, and they wanted to build collections and master sets, and, you know, take cards to local game stores to get people to play. And like those people, like the community, and then those online sellers and retailers, especially the brick and mortar stores, that there's a couple of them that built brick and mortar stores to have Metazoo as their central TCG.
That's ridiculous.
It's like, what are they going to do now? You know?
They're done. They're, you know, out. That's it. It's so sad.
You have to adapt, but you have to adapt fast, or else those bills are going to pile up really fast, you know? So I feel bad for them. Yeah, it's weird how controlling Mike was in his over situation. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of why they thought they were better than everybody else, though, too, is he just had that ego. I don't even know how you get an ego that overinflated. But thinking Metazoo was on the same level as Magic and Pokemon, even, because he said that once before, that, you know, Metazoo was coming up to the big leagues where Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, all them were. I don't know if I would ever go that far. But
they were close, but never really there, you know?
Yeah, but they were talking, and I remember when I was still in the Discord, they were talking once about how they had a ton of players. They would have, you know, tens of thousands of people coming out to play, and that their player base was massive. I never saw that. I was one of the few people saying it from the start, like, there's not nearly as many people playing Metazoo as they portray and they project. And that was, to me, kind of like the unhealthy state of the game. Like, the game isn't growing and it's not getting bigger, and people are wanting to talk about it like it's massive. But when you have when you go to like Collecticon, Gen Con, all these places, and they had 150 people show up to play the game, I'm like, I mean, that might seem like a lot, especially to indie TCGs, but in reality, that's pretty low.
Cardboard addicts. I actually did hear about the fact that they didn't pay their tourney winners for the last tournament either. And they said that they were gonna, and then of course that letter comes out. So now I'm thinking that, you know, those tournament players are also getting burned, as well as even the you remember the skateboards, the skateboard redemption cards? You can't even redeem them anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think there was one moment, there was like one day where they said, if you have any of the Bear Walker boards, you have to redeem, like, they have to be sent in that day.
Oh my goodness.
Otherwise you weren't going to get them. And so people were sending their stuff in left and right, because those cards, those redeemable cards, were worthless now.
Yep, completely worthless. It's just a card with a thing you can scratch off. Like, who cares, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Time is going to be the only thing that tells about if people actually get their boards or not. So,
oh, for sure, man, for sure.
Fishy. That's right. I mean, that whole company was just fishy and shady. So, I mean, it makes sense. But one of the, I think, the biggest, like, negative side effects to this whole thing, what I thought was initially going to be kind of like a big bonus to other TCGs, I thought people would just leave them and want to go to other training cards. So games like Mythik, Nostalgics, Legion's Will, Primal, they would all start getting all these Metazoo people.
Right.
But I'm seeing a ton of people saying, no, man, like we've been burned. This one hurts. We're done. We're not
Yep.
collecting anymore. I'm like, oh man, I knew there
That
was going to be some, but I'm
sucks.
seeing a lot more people say that now. Whether they actually do or not,
Yeah, it's
but
up in the air, right?
right. So I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but I'm hoping some of these other TCGs can really bring some of these guys in and you
Right.
know,
I personally believe in, because I again like it was definitely a kill blow to me, because I saw Metazoo as kind of being one of those card games who could put indie TCGs in a good standing if they did it correctly. And the oh yeah, exactly,
yeah,
cardboard addicts. The timing of this alongside the economy issues does not help. I agree. But hey, don't even get me started on the economy, especially right now when we're talking about cards, because again, MetaZoo themselves basically turned people all over the world off of going into any other card game, like you said, and it we thought that it was going to be something bigger and better for other card games, but in reality, it's kind of just turned out to be a poison that has infected all of the apples in the bunch, and it's not good, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
mhm.
When we see these good games, Mythic, Mithril, uh, Legions of Will, Nostalgics, and the games where these people care so much about their fan base and the cards that they put out, the quality of the game itself, and not just the money that they can line their pockets with. It puts a good taste in your mouth, And
Yeah.
to all of these people saying that they're probably going to quit doing card games, I would suggest not maybe doing that. Don't let one bad card game kind of just put a sour taste in your mouth about every card game, because you never know. You will and probably might find something you like.
Yeah, and there's a time to mourn and kind of
Mhm.
be upset, be let down,
Yeah.
be hurt. And then at some point I think a lot of these guys are going to kind of feel like, "Hey, I don't want to stop collecting. Like I just want to find something else that's better." And get all these other communities, these other TCGs you're listing off, they're so inviting. Like they're all so
Mhm.
welcoming. I've not had a single issue with any other game, any other community outside of the MetaZoo one. So it's some of these people are
Yep.
going to be looking for a place to go, a new place to call home, and they're going to find these games, these communities, and be like, you know what? These guys are cool. They're really down to earth. They're actually not trying to kick me out of their Discord and ban me. So maybe I'll give them a try.
Right.
I don't know. I People just need to give these games a shot. And none of them are built to be money making machines. That's the
No.
thing that I think a lot of people have to kind of realize is there's not money to be made in flipping all these games. Like
No.
Mythic, for example, I got this nice brand new booster box here. I'm not going to hold on to this forever in hopes that in, 3, 4 years, it's going to be worth hundreds of dollars. I'm going to resell it. This
Right.
is a cool ass box. It
Yeah.
has your Jormungandr on it. I want to rip
Mhm.
it and get my Viking cards out of here. So, like I want to play them. I want to collect them. I'm not caring about the money aspect. I want to play the game. I want to see the cards themselves. And that's what people
Exactly.
I think have to realize and kind of get back towards.
For sure. I could just go off with all of the crazy Mythic cards that I've gotten, and you know what I
Mhm.
mean. For me, it's when you find a card game like Mythic, and we can even transition into Mythic for a bit, because I think that personally, I know that people are tired of MetaZoo. People are tired of hearing about MetaZoo. People are tired of talking about MetaZoo, because MetaZoo just it's a sour taste anymore.
Mhm.
Um, for one, I think that if anyone wants to go and get into a card game, they should just look around, man. They're all over the place, and there's some that are in dire need of people to come in and buy some boxes and play the game and see how it goes. And talking directly about Mythic, these guys are nothing but the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life. They've treated me like family ever since I've joined. I've become, I've become a prominent figure in the card game, and I don't personally. I've been humbled by these people, and being able to be so involved with a card game has given me a lot of insight into how you would go about keeping the card game for the people instead of for the resellers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the way to do that is just straight up keeping the card game for the people instead of the resellers. It's that simple. It really is.
It's keeping those priorities straight too.
Right.
Like Mythik, for example, Max is doing everything to prioritize the game and the players, the community.
Mm-hmm.
He's not worried about how much money he's making off it. Although I'm sure, he wants to make money off it, but that's not his focus. It's not his get rich quick scheme. It's he's built something out of a passion. He loves it. He wants to keep it going.
Oh,
that to me is the key.
It is, it's the key to, it's the key to the kingdom, baby. Yeah, that's right. Really what it is, dude. And I mean, taking mythology and making a card game out of it, for one thing, I don't know why no one's thought of doing that before. That is such a smart and inventive idea. I mean, when I was a kid, and I'm sure when you were a kid, did you ever sit there and think, why is there not a mythology card game?
Seriously. I mean, it's so easy. I feel I
right.
should say it's so easy, but I feel like it's all the material is there for you.
Exactly. And all it takes is the brain power to make it work in a competitive or even fun, just playing around setting, and one of the things that everyone, that's in chat or, maybe watching later or anything else like that, when it comes to Mythic, every card is useful. Yeah. There's no card that you can put in a deck that isn't going to further your plan to win the game.
And every card has a purpose, but it could be, there's no wasted cards. So there might be a card that doesn't fit in some decks that you might just think, oh, I'm going to toss it to the side, like Pokemon. Right. There's a lot of cards. I mean, there's just, there's a lot of scrap cards. Like, when am I going to use this Cottony ever? I'm probably never. There's no deck I want to make with that. With Mythic, though, you could literally take any card and be like, hey, this might work well with this combo over here.
Right.
I'm going to do that. The meta is just, it's so wide open that you can utilize all these cards. There's no wasted cards. There's no cards that are just made to be made. Like, they all have a purpose and they can all be utilized. It's what's 100% about these.
And I mean, if anyone wants to, kind of going into like the meta of how Mythic is, I have yet to play Mythic. I'm still waiting on Ren to make me a deck. Well, make him a deck, Ren. What is wrong with you?
I know that's my brother, by the way. What's up, Desi? I have some of his boxes, the original box, and I told him I was going to make some decks for us to play, and I just,
dude. It seems like around this time of year, everyone's been busy. I mean, I know I've been just swamped at work. I mean, you can see my eyes. I am absolutely exhausted all the time anymore.
What's up, Gabe?
Gabe! Oh my goodness, everyone's joining and checking it out. This is a fun time.
Yeah, Lero too. Yeah, hey.
Oh my goodness. What's good, David?
Yeah, I love merging the different mythologies to make crazy stuff. Yeah, you guys have some seriously cool decks, so I think I'm I'm very easy to pick out because I just love the Norse mythology so much.
For sure.
I just want to build decks like that I know I'm gonna like. I don't care if I win or lose, except for when I play this guy over here. By the way, this guy right here is the #1 player in the world for Mythic
right now. Yes. Right now.
Somebody's got to come and dethrone him.
Someone's got to eventually, right? But I don't know how it's gonna go, because every time I use that Olympian God deck, I just upgrade it every single time I play with new cards and new strategies. That, in my opinion, the Olympian gods will always have. Even though I'm Norse pagan by by religion and all that stuff, they just kill. They kill so good. Like, it's so disgusting.
So good.
They do. They do the destroying of things
Ares,
very
though,
well.
my first game I ever played, I forgot who. I think it was with Andrew. Actually, I was playing the Olympian deck, and I got Ares out, and he was just like, "Well, it's pretty much over for me." Like,
yep.
Do tell, explain. And so he showed me how it worked. I was just like, "Ooh."
Yeah,
you die.
Yeah, Ares with it's Athena, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ares, Athena, put out Ares, bring out Athena. Athena, you attack into Athena, and she takes 0 damage, and you take all of the damage that you. It is the dirtiest combo in the world, and I don't remember who hit me with it, but I've been hit with it a couple of times in the championship once.
Yeah, Tessie, you're right. So it makes sense, though. Olympians were notorious for starting fights constantly.
It's Aphrodite. That's what it is.
Yep, you're right.
You're right. So Gabe was the one who did it to me. Now I remember.
Yeah, that's why he knows. He's just like, yeah, that was me.
That was me. It was Aphrodite. Get it right.
Put some respect on my name. But yeah, Desi, you should join in the Discord if you're not already. I think you are part of their Discord. But when they do their tournaments, the tabletop tournaments, they kind of live stream it to the Discord. You can actually sit in there and watch them play. That's what I did the last couple of times you guys have done it. I just kind of popped in, and of course I work every weekend, so it's hard for me to get that time to come in and not be late.
Oh man, I worked some weekends. I've been incredibly lucky to not have to work every weekend quite yet, but that's going to happen soon.
Yeah. So like my work schedule right now is I kind of rotate Saturday and Sunday. So it's usually one of those, I don't know why, but the last few times you guys ran those tournaments on the Discord server was on my Sunday I had to work. So I was like,
darn.
Yeah, who did you trade that Aphrodite to, Desi? We went to Gen Con together, and we actually went for the Nostalgics team, but we had a booth right next to Max and Mythik.
No doubt.
So that was awesome, by the way. That's where I met Max, and I was like, this dude is fantastic.
That's an awesome time right there. Right.
That team was just, the whole Mythik team was so great. We had a lot of fun together. That's where I bought my first couple boxes and got some promos. Max to sign some of those cards. That's where Desi got his card from. So,
hell yeah, dude! Like I've been into card games pretty much my entire life. Like as a little kid, you start off collecting Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or a little bit of Magic here and there. When you get to Magic, you're a little older or whatever. When I saw Mythik, it kind of changed my perspective on what I personally wanted in a card game. I wanted a card game that was easy to understand but hard to master, and that goes for every level of the card game. There are some decks that are super easy to use, but they're super devastating to the person you're playing them against. And there's also ones that are super hard to use that are even more rewarding because, the game rewards the amount of skill that you learn throughout playing.
Yes, it does.
And yes, there are going to possibly be at some point, some of these cards are going to be some type of expensive. Yggdrasil being one. It's a tutor for any Magic card in your deck just from having your own life points.
And its rarity.
Yeah, and it's a rank 5, which is also hard to get. But hey, possibly a new set coming out soon.
Yeah.
Possibly coming out soon.
Wait a minute. Let's not gloss over this. What do you know that we don't?
Well, I'm not sure if I can say much, but I can say that Metazoo, the train of Metazoo kind of derailing and going off the tracks, made room for another train to kind of come in behind it and take the tracks.
Yeah, there we go.
So we might hear something about it later in the year, maybe towards the middle of summer a little bit. And yeah, but hey, all I know is we got to get a lot more Twilight Immortals sold first. Once that goes, then we can start thinking about, holy crap, there's going to be another set.
Yeah. So I don't know, what was the print run for the boxes on Twilight Immortal?
So for
5?
Twilight, it was, so for Ancient Legends, it was, I believe, 1,000 boxes. And then for Twilight Immortal, I think it was 1,500.
Okay. I need to buy some more before you all buy it out too.
You got to get to it before me.
Right. Dude, I'm telling you guys, if none of you have ever played Mythic or looked at Mythic cards, you know what? Actually, I got an open box. I'll pull some of these cards out. They are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
This game is severely underrated. It deserves so much more love. I mean, like look at that, dude. Look at that artwork.
He ripped, bro.
Let me make this. Sorry, I'm gonna make myself bigger real quick.
There we go. Look at that.
I don't have any of my foils in this box though. They're all set aside.
Here, you know what? I'll show some. I'll show some fucking good foiling. I'll show some good foils off. Let's see if I can't pull out the some of the ones that are a little harder to get. So you got like the full art Jormungandr here. You know,
yeah,
it's pretty hardcore, right?
I love that card.
And this one right here, you only get for winning a championship.
Nice.
Let's get her in there and get her nice and focused.
Is that the gold one?
Sure is. This is Nike. This is the only card in the game with a win condition attached to it.
Yeah, I mean, you could just send that to me.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. How would you like that packaged up for you?
You know, maybe some rose petals and
hand delivered. Got it, dude. Hand delivered. Fine, screw it. I'll you know what? I'll make sure I hop in the long ship and carve through the earth on the way there. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, look, I'm just gonna say I live right next to Lake Erie, and I know Lake Erie kind of comes down around your way a little bit, so I don't think it's that far of a stretch for you to do.
No, it isn't. But I would have to try to figure out a way to go upstream in a boat.
I mean, it could still be a longbow, but you could put a motor in it.
That's true. I'm just saying, who says that I have to use oars? And plus, it would just be me anyway.
Yeah, right. You don't want to be doing that.
No.
I would die the day that I ever look out in the east towards Lake Erie and I just see this longboat from the distance coming in. I would die.
And then you just hear a fucking giant horn.
Oh, man, that would be the greatest.
Flying a flag with the Mythic logo.
All right, I tell you guys what. We'll get Max on board one way or another. You guys help us buy out Twilight Immortal and bring the game really full steam ahead. Maybe we can convince Max to do a tournament on a long ship in the middle of water somewhere.
Dude, you know what? There's actually it's in Baltimore. There's a boat. It's an actual old Navy pirate ship, and it's moored in the water, and it's there, and you can go like sit in it and hang out in it and everything else.
Nice.
We can do it. We can do it there.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Mythic trip to Baltimore. We're gonna
Mythic trip to Baltimore. Let's go, everyone! Buy the hell out of Twilight Immortal. Everyone.
Desi says, just get a boat and name it the Longboat. That's cheating. We're not doing that unless you buy the boat.
Yeah, unless you buy the boat, Desi.
Probably so.
And then I'll think about it. I tell you what, I'll even put I'll put the flag and I'll make it your face.
There we go. But it's got to be like some weird. It's got to be the face of him at Gen Con when he was trying to put his helmet on and he was just like. It can't just be like a regular face.
Oh no, it's got to be something iconic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's right. An iconic ship needs an iconic flag. So
that's it.
Hey, look, you'd go just to hang out. That's fine. We'd coerce you into playing somehow, but that's fine.
Yeah, but hey, dude, when it definitely does. When it comes to card games, it does take a while for the card game to get to a level where it can kind of self-sustain itself without having Kickstarters and that type of thing. When it comes down to Mythic, I believe after Twilight Immortal sells well, don't believe there's going to be any more Kickstarters for Mythic.
Yeah. I know that's his goal. Well, I mean, you probably know a lot more than I do, but
Mhm.
I believe that's what he's told me before too. Is his goal is just build organically, build it slow. Let it
Mhm.
do its thing, let the game get rolling, and just kind of full steam ahead with
Oh yeah.
organically doing things, not necessarily having to do the Kickstarter route or like any kind of crowdsourcing.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything innately wrong with it. I just think people have a negative perception on it, and
They
so it
do.
kind of hurts a little bit when you do that way.
Right. And
Um,
people are impatient. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, I'm okay. So the way I've talked to Zaba and the Mythic guys about, or the Nostalgics guys about this too, having fewer sets a year, like 2 to 3 sets, is sweet, and that's like the
Oh
sweet
yeah.
spot for me. Pokemon
Mhm.
does their 4 mainline sets and a special set every year as a minimum. That's a lot. It's hard to keep up with. Magic,
It is.
let's not even get into Magic. They do a set every other
Mm.
week.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's always like an old set remastered in a collector's edition with like nothing good that you can get, and it's all just old stuff. Like who
it
cares,
has
Magic?
like one chase card that's worth hundreds, thousands of
Right,
dollars, and
right. Magic's like the old man in the nursing home that's like, I remember back in the day when I was like,
you're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
dude, every time because my grandfather was into Magic the Gathering, so that's one of the things that I can attest to. Magic is that old people like Magic.
Yeah. Well, I
You
mean,
know,
it kind of was like the granddaddy of the trading card game
and
world as
look,
we see it.
oh my goodness, when I talk about the beginnings of Magic the Gathering, that's what puts like the glorious sing in my heart, because the way that they started out was just this dude in his garage making cards by hand, sending them out to people in the mail.
Yep.
Like that is awesome. And off of that built a multi-billion-dollar trading card conglomerate,
Yep.
you know.
It's amazing how it worked. But I mean, hey, it was a fantastic idea that nobody was doing, and it was kind of like,
Oh
why
yeah.
is nobody doing this?
Right. It's like
I don't
we
know.
already play with playing cards. Why not have cards with artwork that also do things?
Yeah, and it's different. It requires, a little bit of strategy versus luck to
Right.
be able to win. I mean, it's
Mhm.
solid. Look, here we are, 2024. We just had like the biggest boom and bust of trading card history in the last couple of years. So
Mhm.
I mean, it started something.
Oh, it sure did, man. And, I know people don't like talking about the vid, but whenever the COVID hit, it was, Pokemon just blam all the way up, man. Everyone wanted Pokemon. Everyone was playing Pokemon. Everyone wanted it. And then now that everyone's able to go to work and do their normal stuff again, everyone's like, man, why did I spend so much money on Pokemon?
Hmm.
You know? But I put it like this, when you're a collector at heart, I don't think you're ever going to stop really being a collector of anything.
Right.
Whether that be trading cards, toys, action figures, you know.
I think that goes. So when you're really into something, you don't really ever lose that. So for Pokemon, for example, I that
Mhm.
was the card game I got into as a kid. I
Right.
never did Yu-Gi-Oh! I never did Magic. I was always into Pokemon. You get to a point where you're like, okay, my life's taking a different course. I'm going to kind of move on from this. But here I am, some odd years later, and I'm like, I'm back into Pokemon again. I may
Right.
have I may have left it briefly, but even then, I still played the video games. I still watched the TV show. Like I never actually left it. It's
Never.
always been
Yep.
there. And then you have things like Metazoo, not to try to like go back into Metazoo or anything, but
Mm.
those guys, they weren't into the cards. They weren't
No.
into what it was. They were into the money.
Hmm.
And that to
And
me
the
is just the
fame that
biggest.
came
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at even Logan Paul. I mean, Pokemon has always been big up there. It's always been like the number
Hmm.
one TCG, all that. He came in and really made it popular, made it famous again, and people wanted part of that fame, that glory. They wanted to be
Oh
part of
yeah.
something that he was in. So as much as, the whole COVID situation and being locked in your house, and all of a sudden here's some money to kickstart the economy again, and everybody's got the spending cash, and he was part of the reason that it really blew up the way it did.
Oh yeah.
And that's all it was. It was a fame grab. It got him back into the spotlight after his whole Japanese debacle thing. Yeah, if you remember that was bad. People don't even remember that he's that same person now. That's
ridiculous. I remember that's old school YouTube stuff, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm starting to feel old.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say I'm in my 30s, so I feel a little old.
Oh damn, you do got a couple years on me, Ren.
Yeah, I
got a couple years on me. I look a bit older, but again, it's the beard that has gray hairs in it and the long hair. It makes me look like 30 years older than I actually am.
I'm sure I'm getting that way. My hair's starting to get a little bit longer now too.
Grow it out. That's where the power is. How do you think I win all these tournaments?
Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to match your hair length with mine, so that way I can be on the same power level as you.
Dude, it's all in the hair. That's it. That's all you got to do. See, if people would understand that all you need to do is just have longer hair than me, you would win.
I'm gonna like sneak into your house or somehow pay your wife to come cut your hair.
Oh my goodness.
I can take over.
Oh man, you're gonna Loki and sift me, bro.
Yes.
You're gonna sift the golden goddess me. Oh man.
I need to change my name real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna be. There we go. Oh, now I'm.
Yeah. Now he's Loki. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff.
Just gonna pour this on my computer real quick.
Yeah. He's like, how about guys?
Yeah. No, that's hilarious though. Oh, and going into, since we're going to be talking a little bit about mythology and stuff like that, the fact that this card game was able to take all of these mythology characters and then also take legitimate real people from history like Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Caligula, for fuck's sake, like Caligula, bro, the guy was a nutcase, okay? The fact that they could make all of their abilities and stuff like that coincide with what they did in life or in the book or whatever. I mean, it blows my mind. The amount of detail and dedication that you have to take to literally sit there and write and think about how this card is going to work also in a mythological sense versus the card game.
Yeah. It's crazy. But Max is a genius. Let's be real here. Like, he's very humble. He's very down to earth. But man, that dude, him and his team, because I'm not sure, is it his brother or something that runs it with him, or is it just?
I believe it's a friend that he met in college.
Yeah, it shows because they are some smart people.
They're homies, dude. Like they've, I know that they met like forever ago, and I know that. Like one of the first things that they started talking about was making a card game, which is kind of nuts, right?
Yeah. Well, I have actually. Where did I put it? I have somewhere. I'm not gonna find it now that I'm looking for it.
It's always how it goes.
Hey, his very first playing cards that Max made his company. I have one of those. He actually gave that to me. I think he gave my brother one as well when we were in Gen Con.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so cool. He was like, yeah, this is from like one of our first ever Kickstarters for the playing cards. Super beautiful. Oh, yeah. I still have it still sealed. I'm never going to open it for that reason. It was awesome. And then he's kind of telling me about how much he loved trading cards and playing cards and all that. So I'm like, man, this dude was born for this.
Right. Yeah.
If you wanted to get into a card game where somebody was like legitimately born to do this, that's Max from Mythik. Putting it out.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Honestly, it's like he was shot out. It's like every god and goddess in every mythology was like, we need to make a man who's going to be the champion of us and going to bring our stories to the forefront of everyday life. And he was like, he was just born out of a thunderbolt of Zeus or something.
And he's just like, "Yo, what's up? I'm here.
Hey, just up, I'm here.
Make some
Hey,
cards."
let's make some damn trading cards, guys. I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah. He's good. And you know what though? What makes him so smart and intelligent, in my opinion, is that he knows all of the resources available to him. But not
Hmm.
only that, the dude is a history buff.
Oh yeah,
First and foremost. History was always my favorite subject in school. I'm a
same
history
here.
nerd too. And I think that's part of the reason we all along so good
Yeah.
is we're
Oh, for
all nerds
sure.
for history. We
Hmm.
love that. But he's so well versed in all of it. I mean, when he in the Discord, he puts out those little tidbits of knowledge about like, hey, here's a random one you may have never heard of before. Boom, there
Right.
you go. I mean, like I'm learning stuff from you guys all pretty much weekly at this point.
No
And
doubt.
I'm somebody who like seeks out history facts and characters and like real life things because I love that.
Right.
I
It's
mean,
just so
that's the
interesting.
cool part.
Every single story, and all of these stories I've heard ever since I was a little kid. Every single story from Greek mythology to Chinese mythology to Hindu mythology to everything. It's always been ingrained in me at a very young age to respect it and to learn about it and to always fill my head with as much knowledge of other cultures as possible so I can have that respect and then instill that respect into my son or daughter if I decide to have one.
Mhm.
It's just the fact that there is one card game that takes so many cultures and brings them together under one singular umbrella. I feel like everyone should be jumping for joy for that because
Yeah,
not it's diversity, but it's also inclusivity.
and it's accurate.
Very, very, very accurate. They do their homework.
So like and I say that only because there's some games that try to bring historical figures or like mythology into them, but they have to sauce it up to make
Yeah.
it more sweet or spicy or whatever their flavor they're going for. But
Oh yeah.
man, Mythic, it's just like here's God of War Ares, man, he's coming to murder everybody around you. Like
Yep.
you better move.
Yeah, you better move.
There's
He's big.
no pulling back. There's no hiding it. It's out there.
It's like, oh well, here's Thor, and there goes one of your champions and a couple of your life points. See ya.
Yep,
Like,
exactly. Exactly. That's what I just love the way the game came out and the way he runs it. And
oh yeah.
I'm waiting and I'm trying to actively help as much as I can put the game out there because it needs to blow up. But it actually just came to mind too. You guys got somebody massive to kind of jump on the bandwagon recently, join the
Mm.
Discord and put out a little trailer for
Oh yeah.
Mythology Unleashed.
Yeah, that was dude, that was a long time in the making, man. I remember talking to Mythology Unleashed at like the middle like of October of last year. I got him and Max together and I told Max to just email him and talk to him because me and Max both love his channel.
Mhm.
So, I just threw the idea out there, hey man, talk to him. Maybe we could get him on the bandwagon and maybe that would be something. And lo and behold, it finally happens, and that is just so nuts. And I agree. The guy is a really nice dude. He's so down to earth.
Yeah.
And he, even being as big as he is, I mean, he's not the biggest YouTuber in the world, but that guy has a lot of people who watch him like every day.
You don't necessarily have to be a massive YouTube channel to get all the views on it. And I mean, there
No,
was
of
a
course.
lot of eyes that got onto Mythic
Oh,
from him. And there's a lot of people like you and I that were like, holy cow, there's a game that has mythology in it and it's
right,
accurate. Like, let's go check it out. And
dude.
that is
Their
massive.
first, it's huge. Like, it feels so good, doesn't it, Ren? It just feels
It
good, man.
does. It does. I love seeing it. I was actually talking to Max recently.
Mm,
Um, we might be getting we're looking into getting some other content creators in there. Probably not
nice.
on that level of Mythology Unleashed. That was a pretty
That
big
was
fish to
good.
get.
That was good.
Um, but we might be getting some more people on board. So seriously, you guys are going to want to jump into Mythic now before it gets blown up. Too big, too
Oh
big.
yeah.
All these boxes, like seriously, these are steals. Get them while you can.
Mhm.
There's some good stuff in these.
Dude, because and here's the thing with Twilight Immortal, I don't, Max never talked about doing any type of second editions for these boxes or anything like that. So I don't believe there's gonna be a second edition for Twilight Immortal or even, like Ancient Legends.
Yeah.
You know, it
What's
may
there's there. That's it.
right. That's it. And once it's bought up, there's a reason. The scarcity is not for no reason, right? The scarcity is because they cost a lot to make, and they make a certain amount. So when that amount is like almost gone, then they can put money and then start making the next set, which is like,
well, and there's
again,
always
it's
the
nuts.
possibility. I
Mhm.
think Max has talked about it before. I think there's always the possibility of them doing what Pokemon did with base set 2 and their base set 3, which was
Basically base set
what was the
unlimited,
other?
right?
Yeah, where they take a lot of the playable cards from a few different sets and they slap them into one set and then make
Right.
it like a 0.5 type of set, a half set. But
Oh
it
yeah, kind
gets
of like a
more
Lion
playable
King
cards
one and a
out there.
half.
But it doesn't affect like the original print run of whatever boxes you had going on.
Right.
So
Hmm.
I think
I would like
that's a
that.
good way to go. But that's still a long ways off. Like you
Oh,
said,
for
there's
sure.
got to be they got to sell through a lot of what they've got, and we
Mhm.
got to grow the community, the player base, and all that. So
Oh, for sure, man. And hey, look, you know how it is. Again, like you've been in the card gaming scene for, I mean, I can only imagine years and years and years before even I was even thought of doing it. So you being kind of ahead in the game when it comes to that, how it goes with a new card game coming out. What is Mythik at? We're in like the second year. This is the third year of Mythik being out.
yeah. Well, what didn't the first set come out last year?
So the
Well, there
game
was the
is,
Kickstarter.
yeah. So there was Ancient Legends, and then before that, there was Dawn of Mythic, which were just booster packs, and they had shoot. How many do these have? These ones have 13. Okay, the old boosters had 18 cards in a pack, and they were these really pretty holographic packs, and they were like $25 a piece. And
Dang.
yeah, those are some of your, like, if you have sealed packs of Mythic, don't open them, bro. Keep them sealed.
Yeah,
Those
I might
are
have to
gonna be
reach
worth
out
it.
to some people and see if I can procure one or two. Just
I'll see if I can
to
show
have.
you. Oh, this is okay. So this is one of the cards that I kind of wanted to show because I mean, I like to show the dedication to certain card games who really deserve it. I mean, I was their absolute first backer on Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, no way.
I don't know if it'll show, but
It's not. Yeah, well, it
oh
kind
01,
of is.
01 of 25 on that.
Ooh,
And
that's
then,
big.
oh, here we go. So this right here, this is from the preset. This is from Dawn of Mythic.
Is that foiled? Oh, it is foil. Nice.
And they did a different holo for Dawn of Mythic than they did for Ancient Legends. Ancient Legends had the shatter foil and the diamond foil.
Yeah, I pulled. You actually sent me a pack that had one of the shattered foil, and I was just
Wasn't it a Popus?
I don't remember. You know what? Hold on.
I can't remember because I do remember I sent you a pack and you opened it and I was like, damn, I should have sent that.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
So this is
yes,
one of the first, better rarity types, I guess, in that first box. But
oh yeah, the shatter
look at
foil
that.
was a great rarity, dude. I don't know why they got rid of it.
Man, these are some good cards. I mean, hey, maybe he brings them back. You never know.
Dude, yeah, like I'm saying, there's probably gonna be like a collector's set. It's gonna have.
Hold on, I'm gonna show these off. I'm gonna
What'd you
show
get?
these off. I mean, you can keep talking. I'm just gonna show these off.
I want to see. What do you got there? What you got
Well,
here?
here's the. Oh gosh, that was like right up in my face. The new foils. Or no, this is. Is this from? No, this is edition 0. So this is the Ancient Legends. But look at that foiling. Like,
Oh
that's beautiful.
yeah, yeah. That's the diamond foiling. That's the good stuff.
And then I had these. Now, these aren't necessarily like huge cards or anything, but I have
Oh
Tier,
yeah.
who I got signed by Max, and what's the other guy's name?
Lubu.
Lubu. That's right. I knew it was something like that. I was like, I don't want to mispronounce it, but yeah, I got these are my Gen Con cards. I happened to just look down and I saw them and I was like, oh no way. You got some hell
Heck yeah, dude.
going on up in here.
Nice. I
Yeah,
love the way that they signed him because they always sign him in this like silverish Sharpie.
I know, dude. It was so good when they bust out that silver Sharpie,
Oh
because
yeah.
he asked me and Zaba to sign some cards for him from the nostalgic side, and
Oh nice.
I didn't have a Sharpie because I wasn't expecting anybody, you know, first of all, to
Right.
know who
Yeah.
it was. Second of all, to ask me for an autograph. So I asked Zaba if I could borrow a Sharpie, and that's the only one he had. And then here comes Max, and he busts out the silver Sharpie. I'm like, ooh. And then he signed it,
Nice.
and I was like, ooh, that is good. I like that. And then when it dried, how it still had like that metallicness to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. That just again, it just shows how much they care. You know what I'm saying?
He gave me this too.
Oh, dude. I don't have
Hilda.
my bag with me right now, but I got two buttons. One of
Yeah?
them's got Fenrir on it and inserts in the background, and then the other one's got Freya on it because
Nice.
I keep telling Max that she reminds me of my wife.
Nice. Well, yeah, you just said that recently in the Discord too, and I was like, "Yeah,
Dude,
there
yeah.
it is."
No, she definitely looks like Casey almost to a T, and it is really funny.
That's awesome.
So the cool thing about it though, like, so they do sometimes do, if you're a good boy and you play your cards right, you could possibly get a pre-release card from a set that hasn't came out yet, right?
Ooh.
So I was a good boy, and so this card right here is the normal Jormungandr. So you see it's got the kind of, I don't know how you would call it, like the prismatic kind of holographic on it.
Yeah, not like a rainbow foil, but kind of.
Yeah, and it's got like almost like the 25th anniversary hollows from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes, that's actually a good way to put it.
This one right here does not, and it is a pre-release from before Twilight Immortal came out.
Yes.
So I don't even know why I think he just sent me this one because I told him like, yo, I need one of those.
I think that I have one foil like that. Now, that wasn't the full art, was it? It was just the regular.
Oh no, these are both full arts.
Okay, so I have.
Yes,
I don't know where I put it actually, but I have one of them that's like the regular card with that foiling
nice.
on there.
Okay.
From Gen Con, because he has some of those packs, and he was selling.
Right, dude, that's awesome.
I don't think they had a lot that they were selling, and they just had some. And Desi, I don't know if he's still in the chat, he and I were like, okay, we got to buy these out, man. Like, we love these cards. They're looking good. That poor man, Desi, he bought like, I don't know, 10, 12 of those packs. And again, mind you, he only had like 20 or 25.
Right.
That man did not pull a single foil. I got 3. I bought 3, and I had Max pick one out for me. I had Lubu pick one out for me, and then I picked one. And 2 of those packs had foils in it.
Let's go. Let's go. Stonks,
I think
baby.
I think I traded one to one of the guys that was there, and he was at the Mythik booth all 4 days, building decks, playing with them, and all that. And he said he needed that, whatever that card was for his deck. I'm like, here, man, I'll trade you. You know, you just give me like a Norse card or something like that, and I'll trade it for you. Like, you're gonna use this much more than I am. And then little did I know, as I, joining the community hardcore, a bat out of hell into the Mythik.
Oh yeah, baby, dude. And the thing is with Mythik, man, once you get into opening packs and buying cards and trading with people and everything else, once you get into Mythik, you don't go back, dude. It's kind of hard to. I was a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan for a super long time, and I did Whatnot for a while, and dude, Whatnot killed Yu-Gi-Oh for me.
Yeah. Became more of like a job than a hobby.
yeah, and then I realized, well, maybe I'll just keep it to what it is, a hobby, because that's what it is. And I've noticed that side of card collecting is something that I personally would love to stay far away from. You know what I mean? Those people are very, I guess I would say, up in themselves, like inside of themselves, about trying to make all of their money back that they think that they wasted. And I'm like, if it's a waste of money, dude, you ain't collecting.
Yeah. See, and that's the hard part, especially
Right.
since 2020, when that really took off and people wanted to do that and sell cards through that means.
Oh yeah.
It changed the landscape of the game. Hey, what's up, everything wicked? Sorry, I just saw the chat over there.
Oh yeah.
Glad you're
What's
here,
up,
buddy.
Wicked?
Yeah, I mean, that you don't want to lose that magic feeling to a card game. And Pokemon, for me, I play competitively, and I'm really into gameplay, and I'm really into collecting and all that, and it's fun to me. But there's just something about Mythic and Nostalgics too, for that matter, that they're vastly different, but at the same time, I love them just as much.
For sure,
And
man.
I love playing the games. I love collecting the games, but the community. Maybe it's it's just the community is so close knit that it makes that difference.
Oh yeah, it makes the world
just
of a
love it.
difference when when you go into something and all of the people aren't being like, "Oh, you're new, leave." You know what I mean?
Right. That was my first experience with Magic. I went to my card shop for a what was it, a learn to play event or some kind of pre-release type event, and I even asked them before I joined in, like, "Hey, is this good for somebody who's never played before to get in?" They're like, "Yeah, this is actually meant for people like you." And so the card shop, was cool and everything. But I went in and those players were just like, "Oh, great. There's a new player. We have to teach them everything. Like, this is going to be a drag. Like, you just ruined our night." I'm like, I mean, I could just leave if nobody wants me here, like,
Fast.
I'll just leave.
Right. I can
And
tell when I'm
it
not
was hard.
wanted. That's horrible, man.
With all these indie TCG games, now granted, they don't have, the massive amounts of people that they can just push people away. And I'm not saying that if
Yeah,
Mythic and Nostalgics in these games ever get big that they're going to push people away,
of
but
course.
they have no reason to either, like they're built
Yeah.
different. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a big difference to me.
Same, dude. I mean, I'm right there with you on that. It does make the world of the difference when, like I said, when you come to a game when the people aren't just straight mean out the gate for no reason. Like what for me, when it came down to Metazoo, even like playing the card game itself, me and my wife would play that card game just to try it, and like the games would last for over 2 hours. That's not that is ridiculous, man.
Oh my
Like, that
god.
is
You're literally bringing back some like PTSD for me. I'm having my Vietnam flashbacks right now.
oh
The first tournament I ever played it, and I feel bad. I suckered in one of my buddies, Zen. He's part of the Cardboard Addicts podcast. I suckered him into joining this online tournament with me. And I'd played games up to that point, and they may have lasted like 30 minutes. And that was kind of long, but it wasn't that bad. We joined in this tournament, man, this online tournament. You had 2-hour rounds, and I thought that's a lot of time. Like, we're gonna finish through these games. We're gonna fly through these games fast. Bro, the first round, we weren't even done with game one. 2 hours was almost gone, and we were still in game one. And I was just like, I don't know that I can do this all night long. Like, I don't think I can sit here and play games for like 8 hours.
that's what I'm saying, bro. They don't. I never liked the what is it, like the attack point damage doesn't really scale up to what their monsters' life points are. You know what I mean? Like, you got 120 life point monsters with other monsters, and they only do 10 damage.
Right. And then not even the fact that like you as the player have, what was it, like 1,000 life points, and yeah, these creatures are only hitting for 25, 30, and it's just like,
and they got to beat
Power
through
get
other
down
creatures to get to you. Like,
right. I know. Oh man, dude. Trust me. Once I started figuring that out, I was
oh
just
yeah,
like, I don't know that I necessarily want to really play. We were doing like when I would go to my card shop, we were doing expedited version of the game. Hey, you only have
Mhm.
500 life, and you start off with like one beastie already on the field.
Right.
So you didn't have to. There was no like, you didn't have to go through 2 or 3 turns to get some cards, build up
Mhm.
your lands, and like you started off with a basic one, and games would last 15 minutes, and it was it. It was
That's
great.
the way to do it, man.
But I
Shoot,
mean, with Mythik too, that's from watching you guys play. Those games are fast. They're not long.
dude, it only takes long if you want it to take long. Like,
I think the longest game that I saw you guys play was the multiplayer, when like
oh,
5 or 6 of you, and
yeah,
even then, I think you guys finished a game like within an hour.
we did, yeah. So the 4-player battle royale mode, like that is the almost the premier mode for Mythic because we're the only card game that does that.
Right.
We're the
It was
only card
really
game that
cool
does
though.
1v1v1v1, bro. And the way you attack is in lanes. So your monsters here can only attack the dude in front of you, and your monsters here can only attack the guys on the other sides.
Yes.
So it definitely takes some inspiration from like Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross duels and Commander for Magic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um,
It
yeah,
was that was a lot of fun though to watch, even just as a spectator though. That was awesome.
it was
It made me
stressful.
want to get into it. You guys were already halfway through a game, and I'm like, I'm not, I ain't gonna bust into this cave.
Oh, dude, we'll throw as many people into one game as possible and see if we can't get like a 20-person, like a 10v10 going on.
Listen, if that ever happens, we must live stream it so the
Oh,
world can
dude.
see.
Oh my
We
God.
must.
We would call it the biggest card game ever played. It's literally what it would be.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think I've ever, even in Magic, watching people play Commander, I don't think they've ever done more than 4 people.
Nope.
So having more than 4 is already like a milestone breaker.
That's insane. Shoot.
Did you watch the Pokemon tournament going on today? I only got to see some because I was at work. Yeah, actually, that's what I was doing most of the day before hopping on here for this live stream.
Oh nice.
Again, I'm a competitive Pokemon player now, so like I'm really into that, and I watched the tournaments. I found out there was no Charizards in the top 8, and I was greatly disappointed. Look,
Man.
and Grumpy's gonna have a field day with this because he loves Charizard, but that is such a good deck, and I can't get away from it. But
Man, I don't even play Pokemon TCG, but if I do, I'm playing my Mew Delta species, my Mewtwo Delta species. That's what I'm playing in my deck.
you got to hit that expanded format.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm gonna hit you out with the Halon Phantoms Mewtwo. Hit you with Discharge.
One thing that I've always wanted Pokemon to do is a classic mode where even on
Mm.
the live program, the PTCG Live, they would have some kind of classic mode because Magic the Gathering has that. They have it's not Magic Online. Well, they have the Magic Arena. Maybe it's Magic Online, but where it's only like the first 3 sets, and you have to build decks
Oh
with those
yeah,
cards.
it's
I wish
it's
Pokemon would
MTG
do that.
Arena, but I think they have what is it? It's different formats on MTG Arena's
Yeah,
app,
I know theirs isn't called classic, but it's something. Maybe it's like alpha mode or something like
or
that,
like
where you can only use it
Legacy
alpha and
mode, or
beta. Or yeah,
yeah.
legacy. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
I think
I
so.
wish Pokemon would do that because I'd love to go back to the OG days.
Oh, for
But
sure.
maybe when Mythic gets big enough and there's enough players, and we've gone a couple
Hmm.
years down the road, and maybe we do a classic or legacy where you only get Ancient Legends and Twilight Immortal.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one other set, and make it like a three set format. And I
You
think
know
that
what?
would be kind of
That would be absolutely nuts. And I also think that one of the best things that's going to happen is when there's more champions besides me, and we have a poster of all the champions and what their deck was when they won the championship.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see. Like,
I don't know if Max has ever thought about it or planned for it. And maybe this is something like way down the road.
Oh yeah.
But you know how Pokemon does those championship decks, the world championship decks every year?
Oh
What
yeah.
if Mythic did something like that? Like we have an official world tournament to declare like the first, year one champion or season one champion.
Right.
And if it's you, you get your deck reprinted, or he does like a special deck where it's your deck reprinted with like a stamp or something on it, says like year one.
That would
And then
be
then we
kind of
can buy
sick.
it and have it. Because like even you probably can't see it. Like this right here is
Mhm.
my 2019 Pokemon World Championship deck.
Oh
So,
wow.
well, that's the Alolan Raichu one, and I've got some more down there. I
That's
love
cool,
to
man.
collect them and keep them sealed, but what actually got me playing into Pokemon TCG back in 2019 was I went to Walmart and I found a World Championship deck sitting on the shelf, and I didn't know anything about it, but it had
Mhm.
it was Reshiram and Charizard. I'm like, I like Reshiram a lot, and Charizard's usually really good. Let me try it.
Right.
That deck got me into the game because it was fun to play, it was easy to learn, and it was
And it
also a
was
powerful
good.
deck. Yeah, so it got me into it. Imagine if Mythic, again, this might be something down the road, down the line.
Right. Right.
Well, imagine Mythic had stuff like that, like championship decks, where it's like, hey, this is a proven winning deck. You can pick up a copy of it and start playing right now, as
Oh
the meta
yeah.
changes. And
Oh yeah.
I just think it would be cool.
Oh, it would be, dude. I think personally, like the way that this is probably going to end up going is that I think they're going to probably end up doing one more set, and then after that, I know that Max was talking about doing some type of a war chest, which is basically it's got cards from the first set, the second set, and the third set all in one box, like one booster box. And we're thinking of maybe making like a war chest where you get like two booster boxes, two structure decks, a game mat, and like some dice and like a life point counter or something like that.
Listen, say no more, fam. You had me the moment you said war chest. I was in. I'm all in.
Right. Like
That's it.
personally, I think that's probably the thing that I'm looking forward to the most would be the two-player war chest.
That would okay. So for me personally,
Right.
that's something I could grab, bring to my local game store,
Yep.
and sit down and be like, all right, hey, look, this might be worth your investment. Let's open this up. Look, there's two decks, there's a couple booster boxes. This is like a kit that you need to get started at your LGS.
Yep.
Here you go, guys. And just
That's
let them start selling.
That's the dream, baby. It really is, dude. I'm hoping that all of the ideas and things that, Max and Luvu and, me and the Mythic Council and we've all been talking about, it's all a lot of work and it's all a lot of ideas, but it's all got to be put into fruition. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hey, and look, my whole philosophy with all that is we don't have to force it. There's
Oh
no
yeah.
rush to it. Like
Hmm.
people will genuinely see how awesome the community is, how awesome the game itself is. The cards look fantastic. The gameplay's fun. Like that's all natural stuff. You
Oh
don't have
yeah.
to fake it. Like Metazoo, you had to.
You
The
had to
gameplay.
fake
Nobody
it.
wants to sit there for 2 hours and play a game. You had to fake it
No,
to get
bro.
people to play. Mythic, you don't have to do that. I say the same thing about
Mhm.
Nostalgic. Like the game is so good, you don't have to like work up these huge things of art to catch people's eye and get them in. Let them watch some gameplay. It's fun. It's
Oh
inviting.
yeah.
People see it and they realize, hey, that's actually kind of easy to play. It looks incredible, and it looks fun. I'm in. And that
Oh
to
yeah.
me, that's exactly how Mythic is too.
Dude,
Well,
I
speaking
agree.
of everything Wicked, I did see you say you didn't watch, but you enjoy playing and Lorcana too. I would highly recommend my guy, you look into Mythic. Now, this is an indie TCG. It's a smaller TCG. It's not like a Lorcana, which I kind of hate that Lorcana came on the scene the way it did. Everybody's talking about it, and it took away the thunder from all these
Oh
indie
yeah.
TCGs, But this game right here is solid. It's fantastic. The packs, the cards, everything looks incredible. In fact,
Get
I'm
you
gonna
some.
I'm
Get
gonna
you
crack
some.
this open right now, and we're gonna open a couple packs.
Oh
We're
man,
gonna
yeah,
we're gonna
that
do a little live.
that would actually be great because shoot, I didn't even see that it was getting like kind of towards 9 o'clock and I'm supposed to be off so soon.
Yes, we're gonna end this stream here very very soon, but we got to do it with a little live opening here,
and I'll
showing you guys
do some of this Ancient Legends while we're doing that. Maybe I'll pull a holo out of here. That'd be something.
Like, look at that presentation.
It
just looks so good. All right,
cards in any other game would never look better. All right, so here we go.
Lorcana is great though. Hey, look, Lorcana can be a good game, but it's not as good as these.
Never.
In my very biased opinion.
King's Crusade. Ooh, yeah. Need one of those. I actually needed another one.
There you go. And this is the player and him talking right now. Going, hey, we need these cards.
You never have enough have him either. Good.
There you go.
Oh, got another. Okay, another Mongols. Killing it with the Mongols and a colossal behemoth.
Oh, there's SPQR.
Hey, there we go.
That's
actually a really decent one. Once per turn, you can eliminate all cards on your field except this card to play any SPQR, Magic, or Fortifier from your deck. That's nuts.
There you go.
And then we got a Marcus Aurelius, and the last one was a Germanic Cavalry. Hell yeah. No holos in that pack, but we don't want holos. We want cards that are functional.
Yes. So the players and both of us want functional cards.
Oh,
collectors, you might want the foils.
You might want some of the shiny.
And that pack you just opened was Ancient Legends. That is the first set that dropped last year from Kickstarter. Sure, I'm gonna open up the newest set, Twilight Immortal. This one has the Norse cards in it that you guys know I love.
Oh yeah, baby.
The first time, I think the first live stream I did or video of this, I opened. I was actually in my my Viking attire.
Oh yeah, you were. You were wearing the freaking the shirt with the ties on it and everything, bro.
Yes,
you were all dressed up.
I can't really see what these are.
Coming out of it. Oh, there we go. That's a card. That's the card that Chimchar helped.
Oh, Joan of Arc. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a good
nice.
We got the contest of
that's a good one.
Garda and Loki. So there you guys go. There's my Loki pull for the day. Got
there you go.
Treacherous Manticore.
Oh yeah, very treacherous.
Raw. And look, you can have some cute cuddly cards with mythology.
Right. Of course. Look how adorable he is.
And with this set, you got yokai. Come on. All my Metazoo people out there, you were all excited about Metazoo going to Japan and bringing out the yokai. Right here. You don't even have to go anywhere. You get real yokai.
Yeah, real scary yokai.
All right. Let's see the yellow parasite. Ooh. Yeah, there's a parasite faction too, by the way.
Yeah, those dudes are nasty.
Look at that.
Ooh, there we go.
Look at that. Cuddle Muffin Artemis.
Oh, dude, that's a rank 4.
That's a rank 4.
Let's go.
What? Look at that.
Ooh, fire in the chat.
And there's that foil. There's that pattern. So, by the way, when we say rank 4, we're talking right there. You know, where is it? Right there.
Yeah, right there.
That's like the rarity of it. So 1 and 2s are commons. 3s are more like rares. 4s and 5s are the ones you really want to get.
Oh yeah, big time.
So that's
big time.
That's pretty big.
One pack and it's friggin' godly. That's always how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Did you want to open any other packs or?
You know what? I'll do one more just to send it off in a good way.
There we go. That's what we want to see.
I wish I had some Twilight Immortal, but here's the thing: I'm going to be getting more soon.
There's still some available, so
for sure. Yeah, there's tons available. Meta card, you should use it. When an attack is declared against you, gain 4 action points. Doesn't sound very useful, but it is.
Oh, those action points are gold.
Another meta card right there, Trebuchet. We got a Thunder of Zeus. We got what the hell is that? Oh, yeah, it's an SPQR Legion. That's what it is. Oh, we got an Agrippina. That's a good one right there. Look at her. She busted.
I feel like they're trying to tell you to play SPQR.
I think they are. I think I need to play SPQR. Oh, and there's just a mercenary Viking.
Yeah, there you go. And those are neutral, so you can put those in pretty much anything.
Oh yeah. Same with this one. Here's another neutral. Oh, Livia's Ambition. This card is really good. Shuffle an SPQR champion from your field into the deck, and then deploy an SPQR general from your deck. It's a really good card.
Nice.
Allows you to replace cards with a general. Last Stand at Thermopylae. This card actually has an errata already.
Does it really?
Yeah, so
that might be the one you guys were talking about when I first joined in the community.
So what happened was we eliminated stack attacks from the card game because they didn't really make much sense. So basically we did it as, you know, when your opponent declares an attack when you have less champions than they do, instead of when your opponent declares a stack attack, which isn't a thing anymore.
So it's just another condition, yeah.
Yep.
That's
we got
good,
a Kraken here. Kaze Cole. Oh, and a Divine Kame Take Menikata. That's fucking dope. I love these. These are really cool. Super hard to summon. But, I mean, hey, 10,000 defense beat stick. You can get much better than that.
Yeah, seriously. And then, you know, 25,000 life points and something's hitting for 10,000 or defending for 10,000. That's pretty massive. That's
yeah. That's the way to do it right there.
So you need that.
Oh, yeah, dude. You could die very fast in this card game.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be pretty much the end of what we got to talk about here. Is there anything you want to throw out there before we shut this down?
Well, all I can say is go give Mythik TCG a try, fellas. And if you pull me, let me know and send it to me and I'll sign it for you.
Yes. Yeah, actually, the Wild Norseman himself has a card in the set.
That's right. I sure do. Somewhere here.
You better have it.
Oh, there it is. I got it right here. Here he is.
There you go. Yeah, if you guys pull that bad boy, you have to get on the Discord and tag him, or on social media tag him. That way,
let me know.
You can see it. And I want to see it too. Let me know.
I gotta see how many of me are out there in the wild, because I've been told it's a short print. So
I haven't pulled it yet, but I got a whole box here. I'm going to be going through. We'll see.
I bless your box, my friend. I bless your box.
Well, I mean, we already started off hot. There's no, you can't really. Get a better
dude. Oh yeah, and plus I'm a 3. You'll pull me.
I hope so. I need one at least for the collection. If nothing
right,
else.
Of course, man. All right, dude. Well, shoot, it was a pleasure being on. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm happy to finally get some TCG talk out there and talk about Mythik especially. So you were the man for it.
Thank you, dude. You too, brother. One love for sure.
We'll have Max on one of these days too.
Oh yeah, definitely got to get him in on one of these for sure.
Yes, maybe he can spill some beans for us then.
Oh yeah, he'll spill all the beans.
Well, hey, I appreciate everybody for stopping in. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But again, check out Mythik in the Discord, or just go to their website. If anybody ever has questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to the Wild Norseman. We'll get you going in the right way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll see everybody in the next one. I don't know when I'm going to do the next one, but we'll figure it out soon.
It'll be sometime. I know that.
That's very true. Spoken like a wise man. All right, later, everybody.
Later. Y'all have a good one.